This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
So this is a fantasy show. Dalton Kincaid, that's a guy who is going to be a big talking point for the Bills because he is expected to make that jump. So, where do we draft him in leagues is going to be a big conversation this offseason, especially around draft time. I've been high on Kincaid. I will continue to be so. As you mentioned earlier, he could be the number one pass catcher from Allen. So, I think there will be value there heading into next fantasy season, as not everyone thinks that way. So talk about Kincaid a little bit, what you saw from him in his first year and what to build on next year.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, from a fantasy perspective, for somebody like me, fantasy, I'm in a no-win playing fantasy. Okay. I didn't play it for years. Finally, this group, Dave Folan, these guys, the Nuzzo, my man Mike Nuzzo and the Walls and David, they've all been going on and on. Dan Reynolds, these guys, you got to play in this league. You got to play in this league. No, they're my core guys, right? My best guys. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not doing fantasy sports. I hate fantasy. I don't bet. I don't do any. Oh, you're calling every name of the book. Some of it fun. Some of it they meant. That's fine. I said, I'm not. Finally, I cracked. Okay. And here's why fantasy sucks for me. Okay. I worked in sports media for 25 years. Okay. I cover it. I bleed it. You guys can tell, right? I mean, I breathe it. I smell it. I eat. It's all me all the time. I invest like 25 to 30 books I read a year. I'm watching games. I read everything possible online. Fantasy sports is a no-win for Mike Lindsley. Okay. I've been in the business for 25 years. Number one, if I win a league, which hasn't happened, it's, you're supposed to, sports. If I lose, it's, we know more than you. I thought you were supposed to know. So I'm in a no-win. I'm not. Tell you this, though. This year, I'm looking for Dalton Kincaid on my board. If he's available, I'm getting him early because I think he has the potential to be like a guy who I've had on my fantasy teams. Now, I started strong this year. I knew it was going to completely get flushed down the can. I knew it. I knew it was just going to completely. And sure enough, Cousins goes down, and all these injuries give me a break. But Mark Andrews has always been a fantasy guy on my team for one reason or other. Red zone, third down. He's always there for like 8 catches, 70 yards, right? Lamar is one of his big bullseye targets. So Kincaid, man, I'm going to look early and often for him this year. As far as what I see, I mean, I love everything, right? By the way, he put it on the carpet against Cincinnati this year, too. The Bills have got to stop turning the ball over. All these guys turn the ball over. Kincaid, remember? It was the end of the third quarter. The Bills they had all the momentum, if you remember this game. They had all the momentum, and they're driving down, and it's the end of the third. I believe it was a fresh set of downs. Allen probably made another play with his tape on. I keep showing you this. And then fourth quarter, they go to Kincaid, beautiful play call, and Kincaid goes up into this gymnastic. Remember, he had it on the carpet, and the ball's down here, guys. It's down here, and the ball gets popped out, and that was the momentum gone in that game. That was the biggest play of the game. But I still really like him. He runs a lot of great routes. You can see the footwork, the size, the hands, the makeup, without signing like Mel Kiper Jr. saying all that stuff. The intangibles. But he really does. He's got that special. I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce. I'm not. And I'm not saying he's Tony Gonzalez. But he has some of those unique traits, running routes, finding his way, the perfect amount of space. Kirk Cousins just signed a deal too. I don't know who it's with, but it's just
Falcons.
Oh, baby. Oh my.
Yep. Yeah, you mentioned Cousins. I didn't want to cut you off, but yeah, Cousins to the Falcons, huge.
Oh man, I like for Atlanta for sure.
4 years. 4 years.
4 years, a little risky, but I like that move. I like that. And by the way, Cousins I loved in fantasy. I mean, I have Cousins all the time. I look up, I'm like, I'll start him. I had him in one league, Lamar in another. That's what those guys have done to me. They got me in fantasy, and then another buddy of mine from local who graduated with my sister, who I've become friends with, he gets me in a league, sends me, goes, we need one more guy. He put it out there. If I didn't join, they would have gotten somebody, but I joined. what am I doing? It was an ESPN league. I'm in a Yahoo league with these clowns. Then I'm in the ESPN league. I'm in both these leagues, and I'm doing everything, guys, that I said I never would. I'm in fantasy world. I'm in fantasy, fantasy land. I don't know what it's called, but a lot of it is fun. It is, and you're with the boys, and it's something to do. And it is challenging, right, because of the crapshoot factor. I'm not trashing fantasy because it's a fantasy show, trust me. But there are some frustrations. You got the balls in the air and all the rest. But I'm doing the fantasy thing. I'm in. I'm not quitting any leagues. It's a lot of fun. But Kincaid's one of my guys. I've been actually scouting my fantasy team coming up, to be honest with you. And when you guys asked me to be on the show, I'm like, I gotta kind of get back into that world a little bit. I'm doing hockey fantasy right now. It's unbelievable. But Kincaid, early and often, reminds me of Mark Andrews. I think he's a spectacular player. The only thing from a Bills perspective is the frustration level was why from day one at St. John Fisher College, all we heard about was Dalton Kincaid, right? They stole him. If he stays healthy with the back, watch out. He's going to be the new thing. Where was he the first 8 weeks? Yeah, where was he? He wasn't even like on the field consistently. When he did get there, he wasn't a prime target. Where were the numbers? And then you roll this 6'5", 200, by the way, same exact prototype as Dawson Knox, same thing. And you roll him out, and there's no numbers, and there's no targets. And we're like, been hearing about this guy since late August. Want to use him? And then finally, Dorsey gets canned. Joe Brady. So I think a full year of Brady, Kincaid equals fantasy points. Draft him early and often. I like it.